Okay. Um. Yeah. They are asking for planning process and procedure leading to issuance of land title, 3 marks. So, but the question here is by the way of selling landed property, how can he achieve his intended objective? So basically, he was asking only selling for not the entire project, maybe in phases. Is that what he meant?
Uh, okay.
Pretty much. Planning process normally is KM, then getting all the approval concurrently. Each, yeah, together with land matter, 3 marks.
Actually, since you're talking about titles, right? I think they're actually referring to strata title over here, right?
Yeah, strata title.
Yeah. So specifically to this question, when you say planning approval process, then basically we have to submit for KM through OSC 3 plus
Mhm.
first and foremost, and then we can cite the relevant act, TCPA 21, 21A, 21B, 21C, whatever it is. Then we move on to talking about BP lah, BP in section 70 and things like that, right?
Okay.
So
Because
yeah,
this is back to 2010, maybe the strata title process is a bit different.
yes, they didn't at that
That's
time.
why
They didn't have CPSP and also ciphers. Both of these things were
yeah,
not implemented.
those process after the CCC, no CF, they call it CF.
CF, I think at this point is already replaced with should have
2010, yeah,
should have
yeah,
replaced with CCC already, if I'm not mistaken.
okay, yeah. Since 2008, if I can
Yeah,
remember.
but I think it's okay lah. I mean, we can still answer using our current understanding.
Yeah,
Essentially, yeah.
okay.
So basically, we can draw the entire graph of Vian Tan's graph, and then we will just get 3 marks lah.
Yeah, I wonder this part, right? I think the A1, right, is only about how you're gonna deal with the land matters. So it's 3 marks, not the whole process. Because issuance of land titles only, so you submit, I think submit layout plan
Mhm.
for the proposal.
MM, okay,
And,
okay.
and I'm wondering, do we subdivide for all the phase, all the different component, or do we submit in one piece of land?
Uh,
30
this is a single 30 acres of piece of land, according to the
acres.
description.
Yeah. So are we doing subdivisions?
Yes,
The yeah,
we can do a
one more.
surrender realienation lah, I think.
Then we can do like 3 marks. So one is like advising need to submit for I don't know, are we doing surrender or alienation, or just subdivision a subdivision of land is enough. And then second is the submission of layout plan and laporan cadangan. Three things I think
Actually, that's
for
the
the.
thing. I'm not certain about this because it say I'm reading the issuance of land title.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, okay, there is a few things. I mean, see, before we actually apply for strata title subdivision, right, we need this land to be in final title. Before, basically, one of the conditions for strata subdivision, sorry, is that the land
Yep.
has to be held in final title.
Mm.
So if you're talking about that final title,
Yeah,
okay, I think it's understandable.
I mean, you
So
can just assume it's a final title land, and then you are submitting for subdivision of all these proposal, and then later on after they approve, it will become a qualified title again, ma.
correct. Then you
Maybe
need to pay
not like,
premium. You need to pay premium, and then
for the
then
old strata.
yes,
Mm.
correct. Basically, land survey need to do his work lah to submit to Japan and then get the to get it released as a final title from PTG.
Mm. I mean,
So
like from what I see, how to answer A with 3 marks is only the portion that I mentioned. So, or any of you guys have other thinking in this?
So sorry, I left out another one. One is KM plus LCP. The other one is land matters. And how about the third one?
mm,
Mm,
I'm still thinking. KM, VP.
sure. When
Because once you get
The
your KM, once you get your KM, you can initiate your process for land
land
matter.
matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about OSC, the current OSC 3.0 process, you submit
Mhm.
all of this at one shot.
Yeah, one
actually
shot.
got
Yeah.
mentioned
So
5 things. We got
hmm,
we got suggest 5 things. Got pre-com plan. Yeah, we forgot pre-com plan.
pre-complex is one of the requirement what you call it, under the submission, correct?
I mean procedure. So
Mm.
maybe also like you hire a building surveyor for the pre-com plan and
Oh, right.
yeah,
I think we can
we can.
include this. What you call it, I think there's an appointment of licensed surveyor, is it? Licensed land surveyor.
Yeah, I think that's one of the procedure.
Mm-hmm.
Can put it as a point.
So KM, LCP, and layout pre-com plan 124A. 124A is conversion and also conversion
Subdivision.
plus subdivision together. Okay, then you pay a land premium for qualified title. Mm,
Yeah.
okay. All right. I guess that seems quite clear.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie, anything you would want to add or not to this?
No, so we can no, we can go for the second one if.
The
So the
types of title appropriate for each building types.
there's only one type of title. Right?
Strata title, is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's only strata title. Ma.
I guess maybe we can differentiate the land parcel strata title. For the
Mm-hmm.
shop office is a 4 story. Oh, it's also a land.
It's not a
Then
land
it
parcel.
should.
It's not exactly a land parcel. It's a strata. I mean.
Oh,
Oh, Chichun
because
is
there's two
saying
type
that
of strata.
strata title
Uh,
only has one type. They only show you accessory parcel and then the position. Basically, they refer to a reference number and then indicating the position of that parcel itself and the corresponding accessory parcel. It does not say. It does not mention if it's a. It does not mention if it's a land parcel or otherwise, right?
you're right. You're right. So shop office should be strata. So it's one type.
Mm-hmm.
Parking fronting.
Chichun, any
Empty
idea?
bungalow lots. But
Empty.
empty bungalow lots. Uh,
Yeah, here's the thing. A gated community.
we cannot sell empty bungalow lots except it's under individual title.
But it still needs to be
Mm,
a gated community or how?
And this
I think
strata,
we argued
yeah,
before.
can be land.
Yeah, actually,
I think
I think I mentioned this inside one of the sessions before. I think because how?
because after strata title is enforced, it says that if you are selling a stratified development, it needs to have building already, like built out already.
Yeah.
Cannot sell empty bungalow lots, right?
Mm,
Or
okay. To be
what's
fair,
I was
this
last time.
question I think this question is from 2010. At that point in time, that was still allowed apparently because
I think, okay, sorry, carry on.
because one of the projects that my current office was doing right was one of this exact example. It's a strata
Mm-hmm.
title. It's a stratified development. with a guard house and gate and guard all around
Hmm.
by empty lots. And it was, I think the submission was in 2012 or 2013 or 2014, can't remember. Yeah, so it was way before my time, basically. Uh, it is not a qualified title nor a final title. It was a strata title, but it was a pre 2015 submission.
The way Chichun mentioned, if like you're saying qualified title or final title, then is he mentioning like it's like a individual title, not a strata title? But
Yes,
you just make it a gated, so it's like a guarded neighborhood for that one the portion.
actually, I can't really answer this to be honest with you. I don't know this because by right nowadays,
Yeah.
right, if you build a gated community, you need it to be strata title,
Mm. Correct. Yeah,
and
I agree with you.
empty bungalows don't really allow you to do such a.
I think we should just ignore this. Should we just assume that the empty bungalow lots are together with the semi-detached houses should be like under strata title.
Yeah, it seems like it's a strata title lah. But if you want to basically just respond to that part of the question, right? Talking about empty bungalow lots, it has to be sold as a final title. I mean, if you're ignoring the part where this whole thing needs to be a gated community lah, but if they're just talking about a mixture of empty bungalow lots and all these other things, uh, it needs to be in a what do you call it, a final title. It should be surveyed. Qualified title can or not? Qualified title also can sell actually.
Yeah,
Can
can do sales,
Yeah, they
can
can
do
sell.
all the land application, can transfer
yeah.
everything we can.
Except for your what, right? Except for your you can't. Can you do 204D on a QT? Or do you need FT for that?
Can I think
You only can't
shouldn't be
subdivide,
any
right? You
problem.
cannot you cannot do your strata subdivide only, right?
Yeah, yeah. Everything can do except subdivision.
Okay. Okay. I think they mentioned here communal recreational facilities to be run with on maintenance fees to be collected from the owners.
That's the 10% lor, required as under the GACOS guideline.
So these communal
Mm.
recreation facilities, right?
Mm.
For common areas, do we actually have a strata title for it? We have
No, it's
all
under.
the we have all the other what you call, all the proprietors parcels, and then we have accessory parcels that's attached
Mm.
to it. Then the rest is all common property.
Yeah, corporate property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the common property has any attachment has any
Title.
yeah, has any title or not? I
Yes,
I've never seen it before. So
yes, they have a title. It is the ownership belongs to JMB or MC.
okay.
Oh. Same like apartment, is it? Like
Yeah, basically the same thing as
the
apartment.
For
level.
building, yeah, for building high rise, it's like apartment is common property is corridor, swimming pool, whatever. For landed, this one should be all the access way, all the road circulation. They have a title.
I see. I see.
That's what I've seen before. I'm not sure about now.
I haven't had the chance to see it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, issue of ensuring purchasers pay the maintenance charges for management of landscape security and garbage collection. Uh, so basically, I think inside the SPA itself, it mentions that the purchasers, right, has a duty to pay the maintenance charges
yeah,
and also the sinking fund
yeah,
for all of these things. So that's the first
yeah.
thing. Then second thing is I think under Strata Management, this Strata Management Act or this Strata Title Act, uh, Strata Management. Sorry, there can be a bylaw. Oh yeah, sorry. The MC can come with a bylaw to to be enforced by the committee, and failing which I think they can refer the recalcitrant owners to what strata tribunal, is it? Is there such a thing? Basically, there's a few things compelling the owners to pay lah, and then failing which they can be barred from using the common property, something along those lines. Any idea there?
Yeah, during signing the SPA, there's a clause and the deposit need to pay for developer to ensure they pay all the maintenance fees, sinking fund. Then after that is a developer maintenance period, hand over to JMB
Hmm.
and hand over to MC. The act is actually explained that if without paying, you may face the penalty or there's there's a small court, small court,
Yeah, got tribunal.
tribunal, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Actually, I want to ask that let's say you don't pay your maintenance fee, because I think this question is asked before the uh, enactment of the
SMA.
Structural Management Act. So they ask the issue of this, right? Am I correct?
Back in the day, I think
Then
there's something called the building something act.
mm, so let's say for now lah, for the current one, if let's say we don't pay under, like we don't pay the management, what can they do to you?
uh, they can refer your matter to a tribunal.
Oh,
The strata
Yeah,
strata tribunal, strata management tribunal, something like that. It's actually mentioned within the SMA, Strata Management Act. I cannot remember the number. Sorry.
okay.
Uh, then of course, the act does say that the proprietor have the duty to pay their maintenance charges in accordance to the share unit that they hold within their unit, which is the number of which is also recorded within their strata title document lah. So they'll tell basically strata title documents will tell you how many share unit you own, and how much you need. Then
yeah.
based on that, they
Based on
can
the share unit.
yeah. Then based on that, they will calculate how much you need to pay, for example, and that changes from according to the budget allocated each year lah. I
Okay.
don't really know more than that, to be honest with you. Haven't had a house yet, so haven't had to deal with this.
Hmm.
Chichun, you were saying to explain in phases, DMP and also JMB and MC phases. Um, if you're talking about developer management phase, right? Uh, is there any difference though if talking about these three different phases? Developer management, I don't think there's any difference in terms of payment of maintenance charges. You still
Just
need to pay
manage,
regardless of which phase it is. If I'm not mistaken.
it's just who managing it at
Mm.
different stage of the handover.
Yep, yep, yep. So developer management phase is until when?
1 year. Within 1 year, within 1 year after CCC, after the VP, so they have to hand over to JMB.
Okay.
Maximum 1 year lah. Yeah.
So straight away, developer to MC, JMP, no need.
Yeah, because nowadays strata title issued together with VP.
Well,
There's no more JMB.
supposedly lah. Have you guys seen any cases where they actually what you call that, actually managed to get strata title in time? Any idea? Any idea if you guys heard of such a situation where they actually get it on time? I haven't heard of it.
No.
I haven't heard of it
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
Mm.
I might be one of the cases, the first cases. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Eh,
What I heard, most of the most of the most of the property, they are still haven't got their strata title
yeah,
for the old development.
yeah,
Okay,
correct.
before the new strata title SMA come into force.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why they shift everything for the land process for issuance strata title before the CCC.
Yep.
Yeah.
So ensuring basically the act actually maintains that they need to pay already. So they are
We
required by law. They are required by
all the yeah
yeah.
all the yeah we code something in the SPA
Mhm. Yep, SPA
and
just
pay.
mentioned because I think what clause berapa 27 is the manner of handing over VP. Maintenance charges is at the back, I think. 29 maybe. Anyone has one of those things? You know?
I have a book. Let me check.
I don't have it with me now. I'm in the office. Architecture office without those reference books. What the hell? You got not? JMB is formed. Yeah, actually I don't know. I didn't know the period between JMB and MC. I never.
Cross 19. Cross
Cross
19.
19
Schedule H.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think
Payment of charges and contribution to sinking fund.
sinking fund, yes. Sinking fund is 10%, is it? Of the 10% or 50% of the 10% of the maintenance charges, right?
Mentioned here.
Doesn't
Let me
mention.
check.
Maybe it's in Strata Management Act.
Maybe somewhere else.
Mm, HDA,
Not sure there's a
HDA.
fixed rate for it or to be decided by
It's
the
fixed.
developer.
It's fixed at
It's
a
fixed.
certain rate, but I can't remember how much it is. It's in direct relation to the maintenance charges. Jamie, I think Amy grilled us on this before, right? Do you remember? Not?
Yeah, I think I have a flow chart of the simplified version of the period. I can share in the group later.
Okay, good,
I
good,
think it's
good.
a W one, strata title for W.
Actually, I think we have it also. I think Rian actually did one
Uh,
for us, but I didn't quite remember it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I only
Okay.
I only know
Yeah.
that for JMB to become MC is they need to. I mean, they mean the management period lah. Basically, ships after 25% has been transferred, strata title
20,
transferred.
Yeah.
that's the share unit.
So aggregate share unit or number of strata title? Share unit is it?
Aggregate share unit. I remember this one specifically, not the strata title.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the 25% of the
25% of share unit.
aggregate share unit had to be transferred. Okay. That's when the MC will have to call an AGM, right? And then begin the process of transferring over to MC's management period, something like that.
Yeah.
What was it? I think within 1 month or something like that, or whatever. Can't remember. Then JMC will take over, and then GMB will have to transfer their accounts and all that, and also what you their record and all that over to MC or something along those lines. Shit, all written already. JMB, within 1 year, is it?
Yeah. 1 year.
Wait, let me try to find this thing. Okay. I think maybe we go on to number four here first.
Yeah.
He intends to retain ownership of the clubhouse and recreational facilities on 3 acres of land while allowing the residents to have access and usage. How can he best achieve this objective? I don't think he has the power to do so under the
Mhm.
current situation. He either owns the whole building or he doesn't. He can't retain ownership, but he can have a strong power if he owns more than half of the like more than half of the sorry more than 50% of the share units inside this strata property. I can't think of any other ways.
Is that compulsory to have a clubhouse in the strata development
They
in
need to have
accordance to the guideline?
recreational
If that
facilities.
is not compulsory, then you can make it as a private clubhouse without selling it.
A separate one,
It's a
is it?
similar way of like private car parking. Okay, if
Mm-hmm.
there's a location for car parking, um, it's more than enough. They keep it and they sell it to the purchaser.
Okay.
With a similar way, clubhouse I don't think it's compulsory lah for strata development.
Mm-hmm. Well, he can be the proprietor of that thing, of that
Yeah,
strata piece, and then
make sure that he don't include this clubhouse or this facility into the SOP.
yep.
It's a common property. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he might need additional like green spaces. Those are compulsory lah.
But
They're
here's the
out
thing.
there.
Like in this case, right?
Yeah,
If that's the case, right, he will have to be a proprietor inside this management. He had to pay maintenance charges, basically. He had to basically be one of the
He's one of
owners,
the, the
one of the owners, yeah.
clubhouse own, own as a shareholder also.
It's a private property, yes. That somehow will be allowing people to use.
Is that
But
possible? Okay.
if that's the case, right, the
Yeah.
things inside the clubhouse, right, will be his own responsibility already.
Mhm.
Basically, he cannot take by right. He cannot take money from the management. The management corporation's maintenance charges fund, right, to pay for
Yeah.
these things already, to pay for
Yeah.
maintenance already.
Correct. Own funding.
Yeah, he got money can
It's
do
like
lah. Or maybe
it's like
can
just simply a shop inside the taman. Then yeah, he have to raise his own fund to operate it.
I'm just thinking if there's a way like can he charge? I mean, so maybe they can have a separate like a separate access perhaps, a separate access system
Yeah.
whereby it is still the same maintenance charges, but on top of that there will be a separate payment by each resident that intends to use it each month lah. So they have to pay a small percentage of their share unit just to access this clubhouse, for example.
Mhm.
It will be practically be a private property,
Yeah.
okay, with his own parcel, with his own okay, strata title. So whoever that
Yeah.
wants to access it will have to get permission from this owner, which is
Yeah.
this developer guy lah.
Yeah.
I'm not certain if this can be done, or maybe a certain bylaw can be made. Certain bylaws inside the what do you call it? Certain bylaws inside the strata management under the management corporation can be made in such a way that they have to pay to this guy to use some of these recreational facilities that is listed inside this property. But if that's the case, that means when they sell, right? I mean, initially when they sell, it has to be made known to the purchasers that some of this facility is actually listed inside one of the
Private.
property. Yeah, it's a listed one of the private property. That
Okay.
means they have to basically be a member of this club, for example, to even use them.
Yeah.
Seems like a complicated way to do things, but apparently it might be able to pull it off. Jamie, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is you early on you already subdivide the land while you subdivide the other places you
Mm,
specifically sub up, yeah, and owned by the
owned by this guy.
uh yeah, on this guy specifically. So it's actually separate from the 10% that required.
Yeah, yeah. It will be a
Yeah.
totally different thing. Chichun? Chichun typing furiously. Yeah, because I think Chichun is right. I mean,
Yeah. Landed.
subdivide as a land parcel, then with the developer as proprietor. Requirements less than 4 story. Yup, as per the required as per the guidelines, not guidelines as per the ACTA, Strata Title Act.
Section 6.
Yep. So, all right. Teacher, anything you'd like to add or not? Typing furiously. Oh, someone just.
Oh, this one.
Ah, nice. Strata management. Do something like a star architect.
Okay.
Can only think of this, yeah. But one thing is for sure, lah. He can't easily take money out of the maintenance charges to pay for the maintenance and upkeep of whatever is inside these 3 acres of land, lah. It has to be
We
quite,
cannot touch
yeah.
anything. Mm.
But think about it, 3 acres of land is quite a lot, It's
Yeah. It's quite a
basically
lot.
it's basically almost you can almost build an entire 1,000 unit
Yeah. I think it's quite similar to those country club,
country club, yeah, yeah,
golf
yeah,
club.
yeah.
The golf club is still privately owned by the developer.
Yep. Oh. Okay, so we are back to question
Yeah.
4, right? So I think basically have this 3 acres subdivided as a private property. Then which means that he will also bear responsibility of paying maintenance charges as well based on the size of the land parcel. Then beyond that, he might be able to come up with some arrangements with the management corporation to
Mhm.
charge people additionally for the use of to enjoy the facility that he's offering within his clubhouse. And this one cannot be counted
Membership.
under, yeah, membership of sorts, and then this one cannot be counted under the 10% recreational facilities requirement as listed under the what you call it, the GACOS guideline, for example.
Yeah,
And are certainly not part of the maintenance. Sorry, not part of the community. Sorry, like common facilities.
yeah.
So I think I suppose that's how we will answer it now. In return, in
Mhm.
response to this question, lah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's the way to achieve this objective.
yeah. So it'll be a private property, but he allow people to come and go as long as they pay for membership, something like that. Lah. How he
Yeah,
want to control it is his problem already. Lah.
yeah.
Maybe access
That's
point.
why they change. We need to submit the ciphers and SOP before the commencement of work.
Yep.
The developer need to define where is the common property
Yep.
and where is the private property. There's a lot of issue back before this all this act come into enforce. The
Yes.
developers selling the car parking, then the kindergarten suddenly become the private owned. They sell the kindergarten. That's why you have to define everything under schedule of parcel.
Yep. 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 Basically, just keep people keep these guys from messing around lah, messing around with this kind of
Yeah,
arrangements.
messing around. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think
Okay,
if nothing else, I think we can try
number
the
five.
next one. Yeah, purchasers' rights
Shall we
under
move
the
on to
National
number five?
Land Code for
Yeah,
renovation to
this is
their
good.
buildings and
Okay.
subsequent sales with respect to purchasers paying the maintenance charges. Uh, I have no idea how to answer this one. Okay, subsequent
Yeah,
sales,
do we
right?
need, there's two things they're asking. One is renovation. Okay,
Yep.
should be renovation. The other one is they're going to sell the third party
Mm-hmm.
renovation
Mm.
and
This
sales.
one, the FMA, the regulation behind there, I forget also which one, but basically, all their rights are there. And because this one, I think
Yeah,
they asked for National Land Court. This one is outdated already. Oh, right now, course is on the SMA.
yeah. Because last time Strata Title Act is inside NLC.
Yeah. Now,
Oh,
now
yeah,
the
it should be Strata Title Act.
Chichun is saying something over here.
Okay.
National Land Code building category implied condition did mention a bit of this. So first and foremost, it's talking about no demolition, alteration, extension made without local authority approval. So yes, I agree with this. In fact, yeah, I think
but
that's
this one is land proprietor, right?
land proprietor. Yes, it does mean that whoever that owns the way one way to interpret this is Strata Title Act, although it's a different act on its own compared to the National Land Code, is actually to be read together and understood in the same context as the National Land Code.
Yeah,
I cannot remember where I read that, but it's being mentioned somewhere. Basically, it does mean that both of these things, right, have to be read and understood as if they are the same thing.
I think
A strata title document actually holds the same power and rights and restrictions and all whatsoever as a land title.
yeah.
the land court cover
This is
people.
Yeah, it covers the strata title as well. So whatever that applies to like a land title should apply to a strata title the same way, as far as I can tell anyway. So yes, no demolition, no alteration, no extension made without local authority approval. Yes, this one definitely is the case, and is under the implied condition. Okay, agree, agree. Other than that,
Yeah.
for transfer, right? For sales and all that, for transfer of title is pretty straightforward. They can buy and sell. They have the power to do so. Can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, they have a power, but how to make sure the third purchaser is keep paying the maintenance charges?
Okay. So that's what they're trying to ask, is it? Okay.
So,
Proprietor need to pay MC for the renovation.
standard agreement they are using.
Hmm.
No, they are not longer using schedule hedge anymore, isn't it?
No, they are not using that anymore. But if they are okay, the purchasers, right? Sorry, the new purchaser purchasing over an existing strata title property, right? Uh, they are still bound by the same. They are still bound by the same strata title act and also strata management act. So that act will still require these guys to pay for the maintenance charges, regardless. As long as you are the registered proprietor of the strata title, you have the duty to pay the sinking fund and also the maintenance charges. So it's not just an agreement made between the SPA, between the developer and also the purchaser. It applies to whoever that actually holds the strata title. So that's one thing.
Do we need to get a consent from MC or JMB?
We need to get consent from MC or JMB in order to do these renovations.
Sales and purchase.
For sales
I
and
think
purchase, no, you don't. I don't think you need to get what you call it? You don't need to get a approval from the MC. You can, however, if your property is a leasehold property, you will still need to get the consent from state authority to do the transfer. Sorry, Jamie, you're saying under strata management rules, is it?
yeah. Like it mentioned you need the apply to the management. All these
For
are
Or
for buying and selling.
sales.
for renovation and stuff.
Okay, renovation need lah.
Mm.
What about this buying and selling? I don't think there's any restriction there.
Sales.
Oh, right. It's not the paying. I think the mention is right under the management. They can impose any those like.
They can enforce any bylaws, yes. So if bylaws say they need to get their approval before they sell or buy, then yeah, I suppose.
Mhm.
I'm not sure to what kind of extent they can make that kind of rule lah.
Yeah, make sure the previous owner have cleared all the outstanding fees,
Mhm.
and make sure the new owner have all their details, how to contact them.
Hmm. Actually, this question I think I really cannot answer. To be honest with you, I have no idea what they're asking for.
Yeah, for in the real exam, it's quite uh, the marks they split it into small part, but not sure what it's looking for.
Hmm. Right, so let's just write something national bank for renovation to the building. Okay, they have the rights to do it, but they need approval. Okay, and subsequent sales with respect to purchases, pay the maintenance charges. Okay, so basically, once you sell the property, right, you are no longer liable or you are no longer bound by the agreement to pay for the maintenance charges. Once you sell your property, the new guy will have to be paid, the one paying it. No? Is that what he's asking? Do we have an example answer for this of 2010? Let me check if I have that.
I don't have it.
Wait, I might have it. Let me just dig around for a bit. 2010, right? This is paper one, 2010, question number one. Okay, I have an example answer with me here. It's actually a lot of stuff going on in here. Cool, you mind to transfer the sharing to me? Okay. So this is the one.
Stop share.
Can you see it? Hold on, just a second. Yeah. Okay, now you go. Right, here you go.
Another line.
Yes, Jonathan Lai, apparently. Somehow, when I got this whole set of parcel questions, I have all these things with me. Although I never really take a look into it, to be honest with you. Okay, so
Wow, 4A is quite long. Huh?
Jonathan Lai answer always donkey long one. Hey, guys, like, dude, come on,
Three
this is only
marks.
3 marks only a day. You want to write until you die, man? Dang.
Okay, to apply planning and permission, everything.
I think say question 1A, right? Got 3 point marks. So apply planning and all that lah. Then you get your like what Chichun said, section 124A.
Curiosity,
Yeah, section 124A into 2 lots and all that. Okay. Yeah,
recon
this
plan,
this guy go into a lot of detail lah.
yeah, land matters.
Deposit fee to land surveyor board. Okay, this one yes. Okay, let's skip to 5. Okay, sorry, Chichun. Where's 5?
So
Concept share unit. Okay. Oh, question 2 already. Sorry. I think it's this one. Eh, Gated concept. Marketing department brief needed to modify to deal the following. Okay. What? Concept share unit as follow. Section 18 of the Straw Title Act stipulated that every parcel shall have a share value. Okay. Generally for up. Okay. Purchases right under National Land Code. Okay. Title Act provide that proprietor of parcel shall, in relation to his parcel, has the same power conferred national bank. This is the one I was talking about. Section 24 1A. Okay. Then section 116D of National Land Code stipulates that proprietor of the land obliged to obtain the prior consent. Yes, Chichun, you are right. Fantastic. With consent from local authority, yeah, basically you can do your renovations as you want lah. With regards to subsequent sales, with respect to purchasers paying the maintenance charges, provision in Straw Title Act 36C oblige the proprietor of the parcel to pay their portion of the payable contribution levied by MC. Section 45, management fund and services charges. This one I think now we call it maintenance charges already, right? Or is it still called that? I can't remember. Special account sinking fund for capital expenditure. So, subsequent proprietor of the parcel will have to make such contribution in accordance with the share unit proportion allotted to his parcel. So yeah, I guess Strata Title Act itself does provide for that already. We don't have to go too much into Strata Management Act, I suppose.
yeah,
So this is Jonathan Lai's answer lah in all. Wait, is there more to that question? Or is that all of it? Okay, so this is the question 1. So, oh, there's a part B. Oh, okay. I think I missed the part B. Sorry. Are we looking into part B as well?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, leaving development options aside, he instructs you to proceed with prelim design of the building type. Marketing department's brief call for 5-story bungalow. Semi-detached unit sitting on hill slope. With intention to sell some of the bungalow lot without building. Heading down the market space now, intend to proceed with land, strata title development. I thought we said that initially, right? So, okay, advising modification need to be done to the layout plan if you need to intend to retain the gated concept. Basically, change to KM. So, what kind of change to KM? So, 5-story bungalow, I think cannot what? I think what maximum 4-story, right? Under Strata Title Act,
Yeah,
and that is
yeah,
without
maximum force.
including the basement, if I recall correctly. Then 70 unit, if he's talking about 5-story 70, same thing lah, same situation lah. Only can go up to maximum of 4. Then Then also the empty bungalow lot, so I'm not sure whether it can be done or not. I don't think can lah, because even if it's landed strata, you still need to do still needs to have a building there, apparently. But here's the thing. I mean, yes, you need to have a building. I have a guard house there, so does that count? Or not? Basically, I have a guard house that control access into the entire strata development area. But then all the thing inside is all empty land only. So does that count? Or not?
How as a strata development?
Yeah, you can you're allowed to subdivide a land, and also you're allowed to
I think
subdivide
should
a
be.
building,
I think
but we are
still
not.
counted.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think still counted as strata development because the concept is they have a common property sharing,
Yes.
help surrender all the road and drainage to be maintained by MC and JMC.
Okay. I can agree with that part. It's just I really don't know about.
Who's Tropicana
Yeah. Yeah.
development?
Yep. 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 In fact,
Yeah, your
Echo. In fact, Echo has one of this. Have one of this. I'm not sure if they are still doing this kind of development nowadays. Okay. Next is advise him on his marketing department's brief. So I think we need to say the things like the 5 story bungalow cannot work, right? All 3 months only, all very short. Explain to him the concept of share units and basis of the allocation for each parcel type. So share unit is a whole number defined by the yeah. So you say that okay, your marketing department can fire already because they don't know what they're doing. I will advise him on the marketing department, then I advise this guy to fire him, then take over and do 4 story bungalow and 780 unit sitting on his slope. Then the concept of share unit I think is quite straightforward, right? So we just talk about the full it's a whole number. Uh, yeah, okay, indicating the size of the to be calculated from the size of the parcel and also whatever uh, what you call it, accessory parcel, and with each with their correct weightage. So this will determine the voting rights and also the amount to contribute to the maintenance charges and also sinking fund. Really have no idea what else to add here. And yeah, it has to be nowadays. It has to be described within the. There will be a cipher certificate where it describes this okay, total share units of the entire development, and then they'll move on to talk about. We can move on to talk about the like a SOP, schedule of parcels, where each individual parcel will be will show how much of a share unit they hold and which is required to be presented to the purchaser before purchasing. In fact, they need to file this thing before they start selling. But I don't think that's what the question is asking for. Also, just basically a concept of share unit. I think when the yeah, I think whatever was mentioned initially should be sufficient to cover this question already. Cool. Are you back or not?
yeah, yeah, I'm just back.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So done.
well, I'm not
Okay,
sure. The
mention about strata. Okay, landed strata not more than 4 story,
yep, no
but
more than
they
four.
still can have the share basement. Okay, they
Uh huh.
still can have the share basement
Uh huh.
comprised of necessary parcel and common property. That means they can have a podium below it. Is
Okay.
be common property.
Yep. 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 So the gated concept development is not an issue lah. Can be done lah. Basically, it's just that hmm. Bungalow lots without building. Chichun, any idea on this? Because I think from Rian's way of talking about it, I don't think he agrees with this. I'm not
Subject to HDA,
from subject to
still
sorry,
subject to HDA.
HDA. Not necessarily because HDA does not prescribe the for the sales of land. It prescribes the sale of housing. Okay, and also land to develop housing on. Apparently, it only applies where between basically a transfer between a developer and another developer. Apparently, I don't know enough about this. So
Yeah, in HDA 3 interpretation, housing lot,
hmm,
okay, more than 4 housing unit, um, housing lot, many pieces of land. Yeah, because we are not going to build, how to follow the Schedule H, Schedule G,
yeah,
Schedule H.
there's no schedule to follow. Basically, there's no schedule contract for us to use in this case. So it's a bit of a conundrum. I don't have any idea how to approach this. So housing accommodation, it basically is we are talking about sales and purchase of housing accommodation. Is it provide for control and licensing? Okay, I think the question would be one. We advise that they will develop the bungalow on the empty lots. Oh, okay, in order to subdivide into parcels. Okay, I can agree with what Chichun is saying. Instead of building on slope hill, uh, building on slope hill probably is not an issue as long as we get the proper stability tested and also the appropriate EIA and EIA assessment.
Geotechnical.
Yeah,
Ah,
basically once the geotechnics of it is okay, it should not be an issue. Of course, the structural design need to correspond to that lah. Just think back to empty lot just now. Okay. No, I can agree on both sides, but not so sure about the slope not being built on lah. I think it's not the slope side may not be that much of a concern because the whole side is undulating. That means there's always some sort of slope around the on the entire side. Because the undulating piece of land. So yeah, I don't know, man. Protection and interest of purchasers and matters.
okay, housing development
Mm,
sells more than 4 lots of land
mm.
or building lot with the view of constructing more than 4 units of housing. Okay,
Yep. More than 4 units of housing
so how?
accommodation.
There's
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's what it is. I think Rian is right about this. Actually, I'm not so sure about his interpretation of the Trial Title Act, but according to this one, housing development means 4 units of housing accommodation. Housing accommodation is a building, tenement, or messuage which is wholly or principally constructed. So it means that they're talking about a building. Housing accommodation refers
yeah,
specifically to a building. So when I say housing development, it means you have to build a building there. If you're not building anything there, it's not housing development. So that
yeah. But
bungalow lot,
read,
right, is technically not housing development.
yeah, but if you read the last 3 paragraph for
Mm.
sell more than 4 lots,
With the view of constructing more than 4 units of housing accommodation. Yeah, but this is where I don't understand. You don't even have scheduled contracts for you
yeah,
don't have scheduled contracts for your building lots. So in that case, how are you going to control?
yeah,
You
within,
can still require them to get a license and all that, but you know
mm,
maybe the only point is that these guys need to get a housing developer license, and then what else? if you're just selling your empty lot of land with the road and all that, maybe you just need to deposit your 3% of your road works only. You don't really need to do anything else.
Anything you want to change for the schedule H, you need to seek for the controller for approval.
Apparently, controller had no power here, so controller only the minister can do something about that.
Lister,
Minister. Housing lot, any piece of land surveyed or otherwise which a lot number has been assigned to it and which is subject to category building in accordance with NLC. Yeah, but it's not
after the
helping.
building.
It's not helping us now, is it? Jamie, anything about this regarding these matters on Amy's from Amy's side?
No, she never mentioned.
Never mentioned. Hmm. Want to press someone of them or not? Who want to try? Chishan, what can you remember from our classes? I think some of this one I'm not very familiar.
You mean the empty lot, right?
Yeah, the empty lot. If you're
I
talking
remember
about,
Rian got about I also forget already.
yeah,
He
he
mentioned about
mentioned
this.
he mentioned about something which I disagreed about. I can't remember what I disagreed about anymore. It's been almost a whole year, so Title Act. So capable of being subdivided. So let's see. Which section was it again? Accessory parcel building. Okay. Delineation plan, delineation of land parcel. Maybe this is what we are talking about here. Then we can talk about form land administrator land parcel. A unit which is comprised of building not more than four of not more than 4 stories, excluding shared basement. Well, if I have a building of 0 story, how? Oh god, I can't think of anything anymore. Sorry. Let's look at the paper. So I think the question, the item two here may not be a problem lah. We just advise saying that the 5 story has to be limited to four. Then the hill slope need to get the geotech geotech to come in and do slope stability, and then after that stability has been prepared, a independent checker will have to look into it first. Then from based on the report, the structural engineer to design accordingly to what's presented. So, okay, then concept of share unit, I think straightforward lah. I think not much to talk about here. Basis of their location is basically the size of the unit, then with the multiply the weightage plus the accessory parcel. Then yeah, can't think of much more. I think it's actually the the so-called empty bungalow lot that I can't think I don't have an answer.
How about we refer to HER,
Okay,
um, rules number 11, blanket 3.
11.3. Hold on just a second.
Talk about if there is a special circumstances, okay, we may get the direction from who? Controller or what?
Which one was
Controller.
it? Which rule is it? Sorry, come again.
HDR 11 contract of sales.
Oh, 11. Okay, okay,
Blanket.
okay. Blanket 3.
Yeah.
Uh, this is actually usually referred to when it comes to when it
Terms
comes
inside the sales.
when it comes to things like issuance of strata title. Basically, if they can't manage to get strata title in time, right, they can use this clause to apply to the controller housing, and which the controller housing can basically certify and waive the requirement to have a strata title ready. at that moment for VP for them to exercise VP, for them to effect VP. So it means that the strata title will be withheld until much later, with the corresponding amount of money withheld until much later also lah. This is how
Yeah,
I understand.
provision inside the contract, no?
This is how I understand it. But it does not mean that you can use this one to say that your housing development this one will be applying to a your schedule H will be appropriated to apply to say a bungalow lot instead. I don't think this is the situation lah. Because it's talking about the difficulty in complying with the provision of the contract of sale. Maybe an earlier version of the housing development rules will be clearer on this, but so far I have no idea what how do you sell a bungalow lot. I did ask one of my seniors, my senior architects. He mentioned that work at sale of land has nothing to do with HDA because there's no building there. That was his answer. So
Yeah, yeah.
if there's no building, then it's not housing accommodation. If it's not housing accommodation, it's not a housing development control. It's not under housing development control.
Yeah.
And there's no schedule contract to be applied to it anyway. So that was his answer lah. I was asking for citation. He said, ask me to go find myself. So means the empty lots only having final title. Yes, final title for transfer or even qualified title should be okay as well. In a different condition, in a different situation, we are talking about say strata title in this case, the land parcel, strata title of the land parcel itself. I have no idea how it works. I'm sorry to say that lah. I don't have experience in this. You ask me about landed strata housing with terrace house, no problem. Anything else? I'm sorry. Jamie, anything you can talk about here?
Nope.
Chichun, help. Yeah, Chichun the closest one among us here to Rian, so maybe Chichun can. Rian, help. Cool. What you want me to ask him?
Yeah.
No, sorry. I think responding to Chichun. Like, Chichun, ask him everything.
I think it's for the development for like empty lots can it be under strata title? Or
Yeah.
it needs to be
Yeah, basically, if you want to develop a gated and guarded bungalow development, but with empty lots for bungalow, can or not? How to do? Can or cannot do? And how to do?
Hey, but you guys also can. I used to text him.
Well, we can lah. In fact, Jamie also can. Right? It's not like you don't know his number, ma. if he charge you 50 ringgit for one question, then we can split the bill among 4 of us. I don't mind. Chichun, you scared is it? Maybe girl easy to get answer. Who know? Maybe guy easy to get answer there.
I think 10. I think should be 10. Like those Tropicana development in Damansara, they also selling the bungalow lot.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
It's just
But,
that the act doesn't seem
In
to
terms
allow
of
it
paying the maintenance fees, they have
based on land parcel, based on the land parcel sizes.
undeveloped land, maybe they pay lower the fees. For developed land, maybe they pay higher in accordance to their house rules.
No,
Shouldn't be
because
any
at the end
problem.
of the day, even if you look at land parcels, right? Land parcels, like a terrace house under the cost concept, right? Your strata title is only indicating the land parcel size. They don't talk about your build up inside. So you can have a 3-story building and a 2-story building, right? Apparently,
Yeah.
the what you call it, the maintenance charges that you need to pay is the same.
Yeah. As long as the strata title has been issued,
Yeah.
then they can transfer to any party
Yeah. Correct.
at any time. Yeah. as long as you have the title in hand, okay,
Hmm.
with building or without building, you can transfer it.
Okay, maybe let's look at
Definitely
the
can, I think.
process of applying for strata title instead. I think we only got 3 minutes, so I think let's run it through lah. We need to get ciphers. Ciphers is based on your aggregate share unit of the entire development.
Ah,
Then you go into SOP. SOP is talking about your parcel, the size of the parcel and the location of accessory parcel, and then the rest will be your common property. So all of this is
yeah,
actually you can do it with you can still do this one with or without a building inside the lots. Okay.
yeah,
Then the next is talking about construction and all that. You need to come survey and all that. This one not relevant here lah. Then you're talking about CPSP. You need to apply for CPSP after your superstructure stage. If there's no superstructure stage, you just need to in the case of landed strata development, you only survey and measure the land parcels boundary
and
only. It's only a boundary survey. So without a building in the way, you can do it easily. Not an issue. So after that, you go for you submit for CPSP. Then they come up with your CPSP and they give you. Then you have to basically submit this CPSP to apply for your strata title. End of story. So nothing
can.
along the way, right, require your building to be completed. In fact, you don't need a do you need a CCC to even apply for strata title? I don't think you need to, right?
I remember I think
Okay, maybe we put it this way. Like the old, like what they did before all this act come to into force.
Mm-hmm.
Without title, they still can do the transfer in one master title. Okay,
Uh-huh.
like what they did before lah. Yeah. So how they did is they're signing some sort of
Date or assignment.
agreement, date of
S&P.
assignment, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, date of assignment. Okay, if they are not allow us to issue the SATA title for this land parcel without building,
Mm.
then you do the deed of assignment. After your building has been constructed, all the final survey have been done, the title will be transferred to you.
Like that. Mm,
Yeah, still can be done.
sounds
Look at
logical.
Damansara Tropicana.
Is that how they do
Yeah,
it?
Garden Tropicana. Yeah, if the title cannot be issued,
Oh,
then you go for the way for deed of assignment under one master strata title.
I see. I see. I see. Never tried that before. Do you want to rejoin this session or not? I think almost done already. Or do we call it a day today?
For the CPSP, last one for the CPS, for post submission of